Hello everybody. Hope y'all are having a wonderful evening. I am coming to you live with my next Chalk Couture project, which is converting my vintage truck tree farm decor that I had for Christmas. And since Christmas is now over, I am actually going to go ahead and change this to Valentines. So I have all my pieces here. I'm going to go ahead and just remove the evergreen tree farm and the tree from the truck and replace it with hearts. How fun is that going to be? I'm going to go ahead and set my stand down and hopefully show you. I just have to arrange that, and I'm going to try to yet again pull up this live on my iPad. We'll see what we can do here so that I can see if anybody's coming in and has any questions. Otherwise, I'm going to have to just keep looking at my phone. I'm just going to give it a minute to see if I can get this to work. It wasn't working before because I had some updates that I had to do on the iPad. It's actually my son's iPad, so I have been having technical difficulties getting it to actually work, and it's still giving me difficulties. I'm going to set that off to the side, see if that loads. If not, we'll just take a peek at my camera every so often and see if anybody's on and has any questions. But in the meanwhile, let me get this down off of its stand, and I will show you how easy it is to change Chalk Couture products from one season to the next. So all that you need to do this is a little bit of water. We're just going to put water over the top part here, and then I'm going to carefully remove the tree from here. So we'll start up here. Just going to soak this in a little bit of water, and all you need to do is remove it with a paper towel. So easy. So let's start up here first. I like to really give it a good soak. That way it's easier to come off. And then I'm going to just take a wet paper towel here because I actually want to keep my truck. I like my truck. It works for Valentine, so I'm going to keep the color of it. And let me just grab some paper towels. And we'll show you how amazingly easy this is to do. You just have to apply a little pressure. This has been on here since before Christmas, but if you do give it a good soaking, it does come off fairly easy. And you can even put the water on there and walk away for a couple minutes and let it soak in, but you saw that I soaked it pretty well, and it's coming off with very, very minimal pressure with the paper towel and my hands. So how easy was that to remove? Not hard at all. Let's take the tree farm off. This may require just a little bit more water. So I hope everybody had a fantastic Christmas with your family and friends. We had a great, great holiday here. And getting ready to celebrate New Year's. Bringing in 2018. And our motto for this year, which a lot of our designers seem to be taking on, me included, is this is going to be the best year yet. I would love to have everybody try out Chalk Couture so that you can see how amazing and versatile the products are. This is actually the 19.5-inch round board from Chalk Couture that comes with the burlap tie up there, and I just have one of these standing frames that I put it on, and I had that up for the holidays. Now for the tree on the back, I'm actually going to do this a little bit more carefully because I don't want to take off any of the truck. So I'm actually just wetting a paper towel, so this might take a little longer. It can be kind of a little bit careless up here, but as it gets a little closer to the truck, I really want to take my time, and I actually can probably just put a little bit of water down here to make it go a little quicker. But again, just taking my time so that I don't accidentally rub off any of the truck. Not a big deal if you do, because I can just put the truck down again. Not a big deal. But for the sake of time, I just want to do my best without messing up the truck part. So let's get a little bit more water down here. And some more paper towel. I actually use my nail too. Helps get some of the chalk off as well. But pretty easy. You see how easily it just comes off with water, because this is chalk paste. It's not chalk paint, so it is erasable with just the water. So getting a little closer to the truck here, so I just want to take my time. Like I said, I am going to use my nail a little bit here because with it being chalk paste, you can actually scratch it off a little bit with your nail. See how easy that is? So that's another option. If you don't want to get the water too close to the truck, you can just chip it off with your nail. That's another option. Which works. It's actually working pretty well. Especially right here along the border where the truck is. I'm just taking my time with that. Let's get that all off to the side there. Almost done. Sorry, I know some people, this is like the sound of fingernails on a chalkboard, and I apologize for that. Just gonna get that off. Going to do one more little squirt here with my water on my paper towel just to clean up everything one final time. Perfect. So we went from Christmas with the Evergreen Tree Farm to our blank canvas of our vintage truck that I can now change over to Valentines. How easy. That only took a few minutes, not too bad. And our truck is already on there, so we can just go ahead and put our hearts right in the back of our truck. How cute is that? Oh, I missed a little bit of green right here. Let me just chip that off with my nail. Perfect. Okay, so we're just going to line this up. It's got the straight line right here that matches right with the top of our truck. And these are silkscreen transfers that are sticky on the back, and they are reusable. So you can use these on multiple projects, which I'll show you another project that I did with the Valentine. And this is our carrier sheet, and you can see that this is the shiny side. This is where the transfer goes on. And then the back is where we do not want to put our transfer back on. So that's why I label it on the back with hearts, so that I know when I am done and I've cleaned my transfer and I can put it back onto its carrier sheet the correct way. So I think because my truck is red, I think I may go with pink hearts in the back, just because I don't want it to have too much red. And I actually have bubblegum chalk paste. Hopefully I have enough now that I said that. We shall see. Hopefully I can squeak a little bit out of here. I have my little stirrers here. So we just give our chalk paste a nice stir. We're looking for the consistency of like a yogurt consistency, and I can see that mine needs a little bit of help, so I'm going to just put a little bit of water in, a little bit first, and you can always add more. So you're trying to get that yogurt-like consistency in there so that it goes right across our transfer. Looks like I may have to invest in another bubble gum. So I'm just going to take this and lay it right down on the transfer. And then I will take one of my squeegees and simply cover all of the silkscreen. I put a lot of chalk paste down here. Cover my silkscreen area with the chalk paste. And it just slides straight across, just adding a little bit of pressure to the squeegee so that it kind of smears the chalk paste right across the transfer. You're looking to make sure that you're covering all of the silkscreen area. And then you simply, now is where you add a little bit more pressure, and you can see how it's taking that right back off. We just put that right back into our jar so that we can use that for another project. Like so. It's very easy. You're just putting the chalk paste on and then just sliding across and taking it right back off. And I'm making a gigantic mess getting this back into my jar. Oh, and I see a little spot of the transfer that I missed right there. I'm just going back and making sure I have everything covered. You want to make sure that there are no lines across your silk screen, because when you take the transfer off of your medium, whatever it may be, if it's chalkboard or whatever, or wood, you don't want the lines across. So now that we have all of the silk screen covered, just remove like so. And I have a pan of water sitting right off to the side, and I put my transfer into the pan of water, the sticky side up so that it can just be in a water bath, and it kind of, the water does the work for me of getting the chalk paste right off of my transfer. Okay, that looks adorable. Pink hearts, so cute. So then we have loads of love. I think that will be so cute. I think that I want to do loads of in white. I'm going to slide this down a little bit so you can see the top part of my board here. So loads of will go on the top. And when you are putting your transfer down, you just want to make sure that you're having no bubbles in there, because that will come through when you pull the transfer off. I just want to lift this up, make sure that I am centered, which that looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. I'm going to I put my squeegees that are used. Once I get all my excess chalk paste back in there, I put that in the tray of water too, so that way I can clean off my squeegee and use that again as well. Oop. And you want to make sure that you're putting your lids back onto your jars so that your chalk paste doesn't dry out. But if it does dry out, that's not a problem. Like I said, you just add a little bit of water to it and you are good to go. So let's do the same process that we did with our bubblegum paste. I'm going to use our white chalk paste and just give it a quick stir with our little spoon here, little spatula. Just making sure that we have it like a yogurt type consistency. And grab another squeegee. And again, just making sure that I don't feel any bubbles in my transfer. And we are just going to go ahead and cover the silkscreen part only. Very easy. Taking all the excess back off, and then I can go to my next letter. And you see that a little bit of this chalk paste does go a long way, and you can get many, many projects out of each little 2-ounce jar of chalk paste. These do retail for $8.99. And the vintage truck originally comes with Halloween and the evergreen tree. So you have your Halloween and your Christmas covered, and that comes in the vintage truck set. But then we just released an add-on set, which is what I'm using. The hearts for Valentines. We have shamrocks for St. Patty's Day. And we also have flowers. So the add-on for the vintage truck takes you right on through the spring and pretty much the summer as well. And I'm pretty sure that they probably will have more add-ons for the vintage truck because it is so very popular right now. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put the word love down. But before I do that, I'm actually going to take a hair dryer to this because I need to put my love up here a little close, and I don't want it to touch what I just did. So all you need to do is take a hair dryer to it for literally about 30 seconds or so. And that will dry the chalk paste for you. Just because I didn't want to have a little accident and hit that. So let's test it. Yep, it's already dry. That quick with a hairdryer dried it up. Now you can just leave it go, and that is perfectly fine. Takes about 3 minutes or so to dry on its own, but for the sake of being on a video, I just wanted to speed up the process a little bit. Just have to make sure that my swirls and my love don't touch my loads of. Okay. Oop, I feel a little bubble. Make sure we get that out. There's another one. So if you do have a little bubble, you just lift it back up again and smooth it out. Just making sure that it feels good before you put your chalk paste down. Just want to lift this up one more time, make sure we're centered. Looks pretty good. I think I'm going to do love in magenta, just to put some more pops of color in here. That's beautiful. Nice full jar of magenta. Again, giving that a quick little stir so that we've got that yogurt-like consistency, which is perfect. I actually just use my spatula since I have it here, and I'll just put some. You can do it either way with the spatula, or you can just take the color right out of your jar with your squeegee. Either way, it's okay. And again, just covering the silk screen. I think I put a little too much on here. Just going right across, pulling it right across, covering everything. And you can see how much of that I'm getting right back onto my squeegee just by going over it again. Look at all that, right back onto my squeegee, right back into my jar. Now, if you are looking for an investment to make in yourself and your future, and you are interested in direct sales, and would like to find out more about Chalk Couture and the amazing commissions, incentives, and a whole boatload of other amazing things that you get when you become a designer with Chalk Couture, feel free to shoot me a comment or instant message me. I would be so happy to have you on my team. I think it's a great investment in yourself. It's fun to do. You meet a whole lot of new people, which is amazing, and have so much fun with these products. I think it's just an amazing opportunity. It's ground level because they are brand new. We just launched in July, and I think it's a perfect time to get in on this opportunity and have fun. I think I'm going to put a heart on here. Let's see. Can you see that? I think we're going to put a heart right there on the center of the truck. Let's see how that comes out. I think we'll do that in white. Or should I do that in magenta? I'm going to do that. No, I'll do it in white. I think white would be good. I'm going to just open my white back up again. And I don't need to stir it again because I've already just used it. But we'll put a little bit of white chalk paste on here just to give our truck a little pizzazz, because I think when I change this out for St. Patty's, I probably am going to change the color of the truck. Oh, it's adorable. So we have some other fun, cute little designs that came with us. We have the double hearts, and we have X's and O's, which I can probably put these around, but I kind of like this, the simplicity of this. I think I'm happy with how it came out. So I'm just going to make sure that I cover up my jar again so that my chalk paste doesn't dry out. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to clean your transfers. So let's get this back on here so you can see how quickly that went from Christmas to Valentine's Day. If I can get that to stop moving. And it's back on its stand. How fun and easy was that? Moving right along to how we go about cleaning our transfers. So as I mentioned, over here to my left, I had my big container of water. Sorry, I'm gonna adjust this. There we go. Okay, slide that back a little. So now that my transfers have been sitting in chalk paste for a little bit, I want to make sure that they are nice and cleaned off. So as I said, when you have it sitting in the water bath, it does do a lot of the work for you. But I just usually put my hands right in here in the water and just help it along and get rid of some of this chalk paste so that most of it is gone. Doesn't have to be completely clean. And we're going to put it down on this is just a like a dollar store drying mat. So we put it sticky side up so that we can get the excess water off. And same thing with love. We're going to lay all these down here. Get our squeegees too. We can just clean those off, and they are like a, I don't know what the material is, but they're kind of like rubbery, and you can obviously use those over and over and over again. Get my little heart out here, and then we'll get the loads of love. Get that out. And just our final little squeegees here. We'll get these cleaned off. And then we've got our little stirring sticks that we can clean those off and use those again as well. Okay, so now that we have everything here on our drying mat, what I usually do is I usually just take a paper towel just to get all this excess water off of the transfer. And it helps to get some of that excess chalk paste off as well. Just dry off my squeegees and put those back in my little container. You can see how easy it is from beginning to end to make your own home decor. Doesn't take very much time. I find it quite relaxing, honestly. And not only can you make them for yourself, you can also, because the transfers are reusable, you can make projects for your friends as well and give them as gifts. Or it's always awesome if you're going to a party and you never know what to bring someone who's hosting the party. Something like this makes a great gift for that occasion. It's just perfect. Okay, so they're cleaned off. We got this cleaned off. So the final step that we want to do, now that I've got all the excess water off of all of these, is I usually take a disinfectant wipe and grab one of those, and I flip it so that the sticky side is now down. It's okay if it gets a little fuzz from my drying towel, that's not a big deal. Just want to make sure that I'm getting all that chalk off the front. And sometimes don't be alarmed if your the color from your chalk paste stays on here. It's just the pigment in the chalk paste. It's not going to affect anything. So long as your silk screen is clear, you are good to go. So that pretty much is how you clean your transfers. Then, if you remember in the beginning of the video how I mentioned that we label our carrier sheets so that we make sure that we are putting them on the right side. It's not the end of the world if you accidentally put it on the wrong side. What I would suggest if that does happen is to just immediately get it right back into water, and the water will help you get it back off of the wrong side of the transfer. But if you can remember, before you start any of your projects, just make sure you label the back so you know that you're putting it on the right side. And what I normally do, just to make it a little easier, because especially some of the bigger transfers are a little hard to line up, usually what I do is, so I had this labeled love, so I know that it goes right on this one. So I normally just try to line it up at the corner here, at the ends, and push down. And then I know I'm pretty much right on where I need to be. And then just smooth it out. Perfect. You're back, and you can reuse this transfer again on many, many different projects. As I mentioned, I did do the vintage truck just to give you another sample of a project that you can do using the vintage truck with the Valentine's Day transfer. Here's another project that I actually did not that long ago. I did it with my sister-in-law Jess, and we did the ombre effect on the hearts in the back using the red to a lighter red to white, which I think is super cute. Originally I had something else here, but I changed it out to the boxes. And the boxes and the vintage truck, as I mentioned, are in the original vintage truck, which comes with the Halloween pumpkins. It also comes with the tree, the evergreen tree, and I did fail to mention that it also comes with watermelons and crates. I forgot to mention that. That's in the original vintage truck transfer, which I believe retails for $33. But then, like I mentioned, we have the add-on now for all the different holidays that are coming up. So I think it's fantastic. Vintage truck right now is so popular. Sorry for making you dizzy. It's so very popular, so on trend right now, and I think that we're just going to be having so many different add-ons for our vintage truck so that we can have them around the house and change them out for each holiday throughout the whole year. So I think that would be great. It's a great investment in having the truck with the starting out with the vintage truck and then moving on to all the add-ons. I think it's great. Alright, well I thank you all so much for watching my video, and if you would be so kind as to share it. And as I mentioned, if you are interested in purchasing any of these products or are considering being a designer and investing in your future with a direct sales company, the starter kit is only $99, and it includes 2 amazing Chalk Couture chalkboards, 3 chalk pastes. I'm having trouble lining this one up because I'm talking and I can't do things and talk at the same time. Comes with 3 chalk paste, 5 different transfers, and your apron, which is, I get a lot of use out of my apron. I love my apron. And all your startup information on all the perks and things like that with joining. Additionally, as I mentioned, you can go right to my online store and purchase all these amazing products and create your own amazing home decor for yourself and to give as gifts for your friends and family. Have a wonderful evening and have an amazing New Year's Eve. Hopefully, if you are going out, please be safe out there. And I will talk to you all soon. Thanks and have a great night.